You know, when you think about it, with these stories that we reveal to you, and they kind of get you a little bit angry as they do me, I've worked it out. Oh yes, definitely, I've worked it out. And we've been had. Let me tell you why. Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London, as ever. Big wave, nice to see you today. Hope you're all keeping well. We often tell you about stories, don't we, on the show, that are all about wokeness and cancel culture and stuff like that. You know, and I've sort of thought, well, how true are some of these stories? Are they doing it to get PR? How's it actually operating? Do you know what I'm saying? Sorry about that, somebody's trying to crash a car around the corner. It all happens here. It all happens here, you know, when you're filming live and exclusive on the streets of London. This is no green screen. This is real life, let me tell you. Now, this particular story all centres on the fact of an historical figure. Yes, remember Joan of Arc, a woman really who, you know, really has gone down in mega history. Read her story, it's absolutely fascinating. Over at the Globe Theatre here in London, they've decided to, well, redo her story. That's right, with pronouns. You get the picture. You're already bored, aren't you? And now they're going to make Joan of Arc non-binary. This has got a lot of traction over here in London, but I've worked out the reason why they've done this, and let me explain. When you go to the Globe Theatre, you know, people are in a cost of living crisis. There are, of course, some rather cheap tickets, but who truly wants to stand all that time, even in the essence of the Globe Theatre, recounting medieval times? Not for those prices, and certainly not for the prices of the ice creams, let me tell you. So they've decided, of course, for the shock factor, to try and do the Joan of Arc story and make sure that it gets headlines. And in these very quiet times in August, where newspapers are desperate for anything, then yes, you know, they will do that. What's interesting, I find, is though, as this helped the box office, have now people decide to rush to basically, you know, try and buck up. Not really. I think people are just becoming a little bit tired of the shock factor of woke. And if you're going to turn a story that's much loved, much admired, and down in factual history, then you're simply going to lose your audience. If you don't believe me, let me explain this. English Heritage last year, we told you about how they were going to put trigger warnings on certain pictures and artifacts and stuff like that in all those beautiful historical houses across the United Kingdom. Oh yes, they were going woke and they really didn't care. Guess what? They're now having to spend thousands of pounds on print media, TV ads and digital. That's because people have knocked off their subscriptions and they're not coming back, proving, of course, that going woke simply doesn't pay. Or as many of you lovely people out there tell me, go woke, you go broke. How right you are, you intelligent ones. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.